If you're tuning in after the live, just give me just about a minute and a half to touch base on YouTube so that I can set everything up. I can't do anything until it loads on here, so I apologize. But I wanted to make sure that I had everything set up so I can read everything. But as you can see, XRP's in turmoil here. We've talked about this for the better part of a few days. I kept saying I don't want to beat a dead horse, but it looks like we're going down to 477. And if we break that, we've got an 8% drop. If we get confirmation here at 477, which we might have already gotten here, this would be a quick 8% drop down to the 44-cent mark. So I'm going to show you the importance of understanding the levels and staying ahead of this. So I appreciate the due diligence here and allowing me the time to be able to set this up in the way I need to. I really do appreciate it, but as we can see, XRP's having a lot of trouble here. And if we do get this confirmation, which it likely might have already happened, it just happened while I was setting it up. So we're going to take a close look at that, a very close look at that. I know I normally do the lives at 2:30, but you know what? Sometimes I got to come on earlier, and we just got to do it this way today, because today this is a very big issue going on. It's what I've been talking about, and it's something that I've said. If these levels break, we have one last stand hold, and it's at the inverted head and shoulders neckline. And if we break that, then it's a drop to 36 cents. So right now we could be confirming the second to last step from a drop to 36 cents. Right now we are trying to get the confirmation, and I appreciate the patience of everybody. And now I've got, I believe, everything set up here on YouTube.
Women fashion, up to 90% off.
And I don't know if anybody's watching. Probably nobody will be watching because of the time. But good mid-afternoon, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Monday, June 26th, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So I decided to come live, and I won't even acknowledge if anybody's watching or not, because I don't know. I just kind of feel like no one's going to be watching right now. I don't know. I just kind of... So we've got everything set up. So you very well might be watching this after the live. So what's going on here is XRP is dropped off a little bit. Let's take a look in the 30-minute time frame to see exactly what's happening. So we broke the key support. So here, let me talk real quick. So in case anybody's watching right now, and I know it's earlier than my normal live, so you might not be tuned in right now. So XRP has broke down. It broke below the key support of 477. And if we confirm that breakdown, which we've already come back up once to the 477 level, if we continue pushing down, XRP is going to signal the drop with a validation or confirmation, which could have already happened here. This is the importance of it. It could have already happened here. So we're going to see if that happens, but we need to see if the confirmation at 477's happened, and that will signal the 8% drop down to 44 cents, as we've been talking about. For I know a lot of you in my audience are getting sick of it on every live, but it's something that we had to continue talking about, because the breakdown like we're seeing now is exactly what we were fearing, and this could very well bring us down to the inverted head and shoulders neckline, which is at the bottom of the broadening wedge at 44 cents. So just an overview, that's what we're looking at. And the second part of this is going to be Bitcoin. It's at the $30,000 threshold level. So we're going to see if Bitcoin breaks that key support the day before the Bitcoin ETF goes online. Also, we're going to be taking a look at B2 Gold at the latter half of this, at the back end. So if you do watch this, if you're part of the live, or if you watch this when it comes out after the live, make sure you watch the end of this, because I'm going to be talking about B2 Gold, how it has a death cross in the daily time frame, and why you should be stacking up funds. I've got $3,000 stacked up right now on my commodity side for when B2 Gold finishes off this death cross. So you're not going to want to miss that part of it, because I will be $3,000 invested into it. It pays just over a 4.3% dividend, so you are getting a nice little return, but it's not at the level that I desire yet, but it's had a huge signal of the death cross in the daily time frame. So I'm very transparent here. So let's get into the charts. And let me just see if anybody is 14 people. So I welcome everybody in. Make me hit that like button If you hit that like button, it'll help push me through the analytics. I greatly appreciate you tuning in. As we can see right now, let me get the chat up on my phone just in case.
Your security system.
So, all right, good. That's up now. I apologize. So, right now, XRP's broke through the key support of 477. I'll try to explain it the best I can if you're new to the channel, or if you're watching this after the live, which most people will. So, we broke down. We had these hit on the broadening wedge. This is the broadening wedge pattern. But in the closer term, we'll take a look at the 4-hour time frame here. So the importance of this right now is right here. We had the recrossing of the Deathcross in the 4-hour time frame. And as we feared going up, when we invalidated in the Deathcross in the 4-hourly, we talked about if we didn't come up and hold the 537, that would be a short-term invalidation that would quickly reverse, and it would trap a bunch of people to go long and liquidate the shorts in the same time frame, and then it would push back down, and then it would reflip the Deathcross, which is what happened. And we talked about if we lost the 477 and confirmed it, we already know the signal is down to 44 cents, which is the inverted head and shoulders neckline and the broadening wedge support at 44 cents. So down here, as you can see, is the inverted head and shoulders neckline. We've got the breakout. That's where it held the breakout. If you do come down here to the 44 cents and lose that, you're going to come down to 36 cents, which is the technical target, which is actually below this. So if we do break this neckline, the technical target is 36 cents, and that's how we get into the bigger time frames. And this is the all-time pattern. A lot of people are like, the all-time pattern, how do you come up with this? And I just go back on the trend lines. This is all my own stuff, so it's not going to look like everybody else's, and that's okay because I want it to be my own. I don't want it to be anybody else's interpretation, and I don't draw my own conclusions from anything other than the evidence in front of us. So we've got from 2013, which is the very bottom uptrend, and it starts all the way back here in 14, 13, and then you've got the 17 uptrend when I refer to it, and then you've got the 2020. I guess it's the 2020 uptrend. I say the 2021 because I always refer to it from here, but it technically started from here. Okay, that's even better. That's even better, the 2020 uptrend. So, see, that's why it's good to go back and look. Whoops. So, that's how we do it. So we got the 2013 on the bottom, the 2017 in the middle, the 2020 right here. So right now, if we go back into the 4-hourly, we have a 36-cent technical target on the breakdown of the broadening wedge and or the inverted head and shoulders neckline. That would get us down to, ironically, the 2020 uptrend. That's the 2020 uptrend. It would just happen to meet here at that support line. And as we move farther out, that support line can be moved up. So we'll just move that. So right now where it's at, that's at 36,189 roughly. So if we hit it by July 1st, this would be 36,189. So right at 36 cents roughly. That's where the technical target is on the breakdown of the neckline. And I have 2021 uptrend, but as we've seen, it actually goes back a little bit farther. So it is a 2020 uptrend. But I keep talking about it. Everybody should understand where we're going at with that. Welcome in, Jose. Watch, recycle, repeat, early live. Thanks, brother. Yep. I kind of snuck it in here. I know nobody that's normally here is going to be here, so I'm just kind of flowing. I'm just kind of vibing with the charts right now. John Hall, welcome in. I greatly appreciate you tuning in. We have 27 people here now. See, there was only like 10 people when I first started, so I just assumed that there was 10 people. 27 people here, 14 likes. Make sure you hit that like button, as it'll greatly help push me through the analytics. I decided to come on. This may not be the only live today, but I decided to come on because XRP is moving. And we broke through a key support level that we've been talking about over and over and over and over again. We've been beating it like a dead horse, but it's because it's so important, that 477, to break that and get confirmation. So we could take it down to the 1 minute if we want. But that's, that's not exactly looking great. The return candles that are trying to push us up, we're not looking that great. But this, technically, this formation, if it just rolls out like this, should bring us back up here to retest this on a firm retest. Otherwise, if we lose this real quick, we could very quickly come down to the 44 cents. I mean, I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. This is exactly what we were fearing for the better part of a week, especially when we had that false run up here on June 21st. So this is definitely not unexpected. Why isn't, I know there's comments now because I can see them on my phone, but it's just not showing up on YouTube. I apologize. Make sure you hit that like button. 31 people in here, 17 likes. I greatly appreciate that. Billy, welcome in. No problem. Thanks for your service, Tom. No problem. Creative House, welcome in from the UK. Yosef, Peace King, welcome in. D5, welcome. So, if anybody's got any opinions here, what are we thinking? What are we thinking about XRP right now? Are we thinking it's going to follow through here and we're going to actually have this breakdown to 44 cents at the inverted head and shoulders neckline and the bottom of the broadening wedge? And if you're new, the broadening wedge, so it's basically an inside-out wedge. It's an inside-out wedge. So it's formed when you get a series of higher highs and lower lows simultaneously being formed. And you need two successive, the legend is, you need two hits on each side successively of higher highs and lower lows to confirm a broadening wedge. 1, 2 hits of resistance, higher highs, 2 hits of support, lower lows. And then it said every successive hit becomes more volatile. 3rd hit of support on the broadening wedge, 3rd lower low. 3rd hit on resistance, the higher high on the broadening wedge. Look at the volatility now. Now all of a sudden, what's this? Another hit of support. That's the 4th hit of support. 5th hit of support. The volatility from here to here was crazy. Now the only question is it coming here to go here? Or is now the broadening wedge starting to play true and it's going to come all the way back down here? Now it could actually break the neckline. That's the seriousness here. We could legitimately break the neckline and actually come down here to 424 on a quick swift hit. So let's just see what happens here. That 44 cents is a very important here. Because if we break the broadening wedge, I'm not so confident we're going to hold it. I think we very well might be coming down to the 2020 uptrend. So that's the broadening wedge. Now, the more imminent danger that XRP's in is that in the 4-hour time frame, XRP's reconfirmed that Deathcross. And now that we broke below the 477, XRP's got a little bit of work to do here. It needs to get back above. It really does. If you want XRP not to have this big breakdown, it needs to break back above. And Bitcoin right now is dealing with the 30,000 threshold. Sorry, I need to grab this drink of water real quick. But welcome in, everybody. I do appreciate you tuning in. I now see that there's comments coming in. I'm like, I see it on my phone, but it's not coming up on my screen, which means it's probably not alerting anybody to my live. So a lot of people are going to love this when it comes out. Creative House, ready for a short? Yeah, it's getting there. DeFi, welcome in. Billy, gonna load my bags up if it hits sub 40. Whales are eating up retail, smell like JP. Yep, JP Morgan's always hunting. Always on the move. Just remember though, everybody, could this be a liquidity dump for tomorrow? That's what we have to ask ourselves. The fact that it's dumping leading into the ETF, are we gonna get a pump tomorrow? Or are we gonna get a follow through? I always like it better when it dumps before something happens. Like sell the rumor, buy the news kind of thing. Because right now this is acting as a sell the rumor, even though it's not a rumor. Like this is like a sell the news kind of event. And they're selling it before the news came out. They bought it, but now they're selling it before the actual event. So we're going to see if we have follow through. I mean, the Bitcoin ETF is very interesting. And right now Bitcoin's also very interesting because it looks like it's forming a head and shoulders pattern, a top and reverse with a Batman top, whatever you want to call it. But we're really coming down to a key formation structure here. And let's take it out into a wider time frame. But we know the CME gap's at 30,000. But we also know if we want to build a bullish handle here, Bitcoin's got no choice but to consolidate and then come out. If it doesn't do that and it breaks back down, this could be a very volatile drop to 28K to kind of come back into this channel. And then you have to come back down here. So we'll see. We'll see what Bitcoin's ambitions are. But if it holds 30K, it would come up here. It's just if it doesn't hold 30K, it's going to be a very, very, very volatile start to that ETF. And not a lot of people are going to be happy. To me, I mean, I don't even know why you would buy Bitcoin, but, you know, that's just me. If you're looking to long hold it, if you're looking to swing trade, obviously, you know, you get spikes. It's more easily tradable, in my opinion. It's easier to trade than some of the altcoins because it moves in different cycles. So 50% plus right now is in Bitcoin. So the total crypto market cap, or the total market cap of all crypto, the funds. So the Bitcoin dominance chart right now, there's over 50% of dominance. That means over 50% of the money's in Bitcoin. That's very bearish for altcoins. So very bearish. Jan, welcome in, love. I appreciate you tuning in. Axel, welcome in. I greatly appreciate everybody finding their way here. I really do. So is there anything anybody wants to talk about? This isn't even a real live, folks. This is just a live update. So I'm about to just end this because I just wanted to do a live update so everybody could understand what was going on. The last thing I wanted to cover here was B2 Gold in the daily time frame. And then I'll be back at some point today, 3 or 4 o'clock. I'm coming back to do a real live. This is just a live update because I felt it was important to try to talk to everybody who was willing to show up, who tried to show up and ask questions. But we're going to do our real live today at like 3:30, 4 o'clock is what I decided. So we'll let it play out a little bit, and then we'll come back after the market shakes out a little bit. But I wanted to come in now to give you a live update. That's it. That's all. This is a live update, not even a live broadcast, let's just say. So B2 Gold, what I had aforementioned. 4 hourly, you can already see the Deathcross looking for a rejection here. But in the daily time frame, it's becoming more urgent. See this? It's had the golden or the Deathcross. And now we're looking for confirmation, so don't get suckered in here if it bounces up to a sucker's rally to 375 or 380. I'm looking firmly for my buy-in right here around the $3.22 area. I've got $3,000. And if it breaks through there and has a much wider breakdown, we might get an even better buy-in. But that's my projected buy. I've been mapping that out for a very long time, which is why I have nothing else on this chart. I've been waiting for a breakout and confirmation for the real breakout. So that's what I'm waiting for. I sold it back, as some of you know, and it was quite some time now. This was back in September. So I wrote it from here. In the first breakout attempt, I said I'm out. And I don't even think it made it into the new year, to be honest. It was somewhere back here. No, it wasn't even there. Early January, maybe. And I haven't held it since, so it's been 6 months. So I've been waiting I wanted to make some easy money here. I didn't want to really sell it, but I could see what was forming because the pattern did the top, down, and I didn't want to ride the consolidation. So once it broke this structure, I said, nah, it's still got to fill this out. And then I said, I'll buy back in when it gets here for the explosive point. And the reason I say that is, look how long we've been consolidating here. The back part's been on an upward consolidations on an uptrend, but back here, this started in 2020. The downward spiral in 2020. And then we've also had this uptrending support that started in January of 2016. So if this does have this massive breakout attempt, you build pressure, and then if it decides to break out, if not, I'm waiting for that point to see if it initially breaks below and then gets a rejection, because then I'm going to get a much better buy-in. But that's where I'm thinking in my head for B2 Gold. So just pay attention to that. They pay a 4.3% plus dividend. So it's I believe 4 times a year you get paid. Their last dividend paid out 0.04, so 4% it paid out. So you know it is what it is. That's per share. So that's what I'm looking at for B2 Gold. I'm really looking for this to play out in a very volatile way in the daily time frame. I really want to see a firm rejection here and a real big push down here. Even if it comes back down here to the uptrend, I really want to see a breakout attempt happen back there. So we're going to come into a cycle, though, where I firmly believe it's time to start stacking money for commodities. And we're going to come into a new age here. So I look forward to seeing you all in a couple hours during the real live. I know it sounds stupid because I'm actually live, but this is supposed to be a live update just in case anybody wanted to hear. So, or anybody had questions. So, real quick, I'll just say bye to everybody. Jan, thanks so much for tuning in. Love, Axel, Billy, Creative House, DeFi, Yosef, John, Jose, Creative House. My daughter said they will flip the switch and flip to a big pump, and they possibly can. That's why we have our positions already bags filled from when we were down lower in the 2022 part of the cycle and early 2023. But look, my next purchase of XRP, when it's, and I'll be honest, is when it's 20% below 0.347, because that's my average. It's got to be 20% below that for me to buy in again. John Hall, thank you very much as well. Alexander, no problem. I appreciate that. And thanks, Jan. Love. I'll see you at the next update as well. I appreciate everybody who tuned into this live update. I'll see you in about 2 hours, 2.5 hours approximately.